Welcome back to the channel. My name is Todd Jewell, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at the pros and cons of living right here in Knoxville, Tennessee in 2025. All right, let's get to it. The first thing listed as a pro for here in Knoxville hasn't changed, and that is our cost of living. Are things more expensive here today than they were 2 years ago? Absolutely, just like they are everywhere else in the country. But when you compare us to other metropolitan areas, when you look at the fact that we do not have a state income tax, no personal property taxes, as well as many of you like to point out to me on the channel, when I talk about cost of living, that yes, but you have a high sales tax. Even if this sales tax is discounted on a lot of your day-to-day needs for residents, from going to the pharmacy to going to the grocery store, go back and look. We've done videos over the last 2 years that have to do with specifics on cost of living, whether you're a retiree or a young family. Check those out on the channel. But cost of living in 2025 is still one of the top pros for living here in Knoxville. So the second thing I'm going to bring up as a pro is our housing market. If you stick around to the end, you're going to see we also have a con related to the housing market that I'm going to bring up here just a little later in the video. But when you look at our housing here in the Knoxville area, it is still very affordable when compared to most parts of the country. And when I talk about affordability as it relates to housing, I am not just talking about purchase price, okay? The pricing here in Knoxville and surrounding Knoxville is very specific to the area. You can see a median sales price in North Knoxville, which is a beautiful area, in the lower threes, and you can see a median sales price in Farragut of well over $650,000. But when you compare us to other metropolitan areas that actually have things, we still compare very, very favorably. The best thing about our housing here in Knoxville is the cost of ownership. So whether it be your utilities, which are affordable here in our area, very affordable, maybe it's your house insurance, and our house insurance total is about $2,000 a year for everything. Buying the home, even if you pay for it, doesn't resolve you of these other costs. And one of them is you're renting the property, in my opinion, from the municipality, the state, the county, wherever you are, and you do that through real estate taxes. One of the great things about Knox County is we have very low real estate taxes. A $700,000, $600,000 home here in Knox County, and you're looking at real estate taxes around $200 to $2,200, $2,300 a year for your entire real estate taxes. Yes, that goes up if you live within the city limits, although to be honest with you, very few of our clients choose to live in the city limits of Knoxville, and we just don't seem to have a lot of benefit to that to justify the taxes for those of you who are moving here. So cost of ownership is still very affordable here in Knoxville, and that's why it is still one of the top pros to living here in Knox County is our housing cost. Third pro on our list, the natural beauty and outdoor activities of this area. I am at Lakeshore Park. I chose to be in a different part of it. I'm at the lower end of it. You can see behind me a lot of people walking. It's an early spring day. Knoxville is blessed with some of the most beautiful parks you'll ever see. They're so well maintained. There are a lot of hiking trails, greenway systems, biking trails. As the weather warms up, you can see the Fort Loudon Lake behind me. There's boating, there's kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, canoeing, all of these things. And everything I just mentioned has nothing to do with going to the Smoky Mountains, which are 45 minutes behind us. So you don't have to go in the mountains to hike. You don't have to go in the mountains to enjoy outdoor activities that exist right here where you would be living in and around all of this Knoxville area. So the fourth pro on our list is our weather. 4 very mild but distinct seasons. We have good seasons to enjoy the outdoors. It doesn't do any good to look at pro number 3 and say, wow, look at the outdoor activities you have available and the natural beauty if you can't get outside and enjoy it in the weather. We have a really nice spring, summer, fall, and a short winter, which is nice for me because I'm not a winter person. Behind me, if you look at the trees, they're just now blooming in March. Everything's turning green. All the flowering trees are starting to pop, and it's gorgeous out here. We don't have to really worry about the fire danger, the big flooding danger. We don't have hurricanes. Yes, we have thunderstorms. Yes, you could have a tornado in our area, just like other parts of the country. But actually, if you look, well, you're going to find out, and we've done a full video on the weather, you find out that a lot of our more severe weather actually happens to more towards central Tennessee, right across the Cumberland Plateau, out toward Nashville, Middle Tennessee, and out west. So what's number 5 on our list of pros? Well, that's going to be the cultural activities and entertainment. It's very rare to find a place that is affordable with great natural beauty, good climate, and at the same time isn't in some kind of cultural desert. You're out in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around. Well, here in Knoxville, Tennessee, we're very lucky. University of Tennessee's here. It has brought tons of culture and variety to our area. We have tons of variety for the foods, and we have a lot of festivals throughout the year. Great music scene, phenomenal craft beer scene. A lot of breweries in our area. It's a very, very strong area for that as well. Our entertainment, our cultural events throughout the year absolutely have to be a pro of living here in Knoxville, Tennessee. No place is perfect. Knoxville is no different. Let's talk about the cons. Number one on our list of cons right now in 2025 here in Knoxville probably are going to be dealing with the growth as it relates to traffic and infrastructure. Knoxville and Knox County is a growing part of the country. It's popular for the young family. It's a great place and safe place to raise a family. It's also very popular for the person who's in retirement or approaching retirement. But that growth creates some headaches. It creates additional traffic in areas that were already kind of traffic heavy. It creates strain on some of the better schools in the area because everybody wants to be in Farragut, everybody wants to be in Hardin Valley for the schools. If you have school-age kids, so those schools are starting to get really full and they're having to add on. We're having to do a lot of infrastructure upgrades with roads, and because you do that, so what do you have? Construction zones, and you get traffic. So the second thing in 2025 that's a con is our housing inventory. There are many parts of the country I know right now where everybody's talking about how much the inventory is growing. Days on market are expanding, and overall that's true, and we've actually even saw that a little bit here in Knoxville. The thing about Knoxville is, in our real estate market is it's just like our pricing is tied to certain areas and certain style homes. It creates a real inventory issue in those areas for us still. So what does that mean? Well, if you look at our month-to-month market updates as it relates to an absorption rate, Knox County, and that's what we look at area, is still just over 2 months worth of inventory. That is still very low. We need 4.5 months. But if a home is priced properly and is in a good area and it's in good condition, it's going to sell. It's going to sell quickly. So the third con we've got to consider goes right along with the low inventory that we just talked about, and that is rising home prices. For the first time, end of last year, late last year, we saw the median sold price in Knox County go above $400,000. Doesn't matter where you're looking, every one of those pricing have continued to go up. We have not had any year-over-year price reductions in these months that we've been tracking this. If you're someone who is sitting out there saying, I'm going to wait on the market to crash, you do not understand when the market crashed the last time, and you're putting in this area, you're putting your faith in numbers and statistics that are not relative to what's going on here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And there's not one single thing anywhere in the numbers right now that shows that our market should start dropping, especially in any significant way. So number 4 on the list is kind of new. Knoxville really doesn't have a lot of master plan communities. What does that mean? It means that if you're coming from a Del Webb style community, you're coming from areas like Hilton Head, what you have is you have communities where you can walk out your door and you can walk down to the grocery store. You can easily walk down to a place or two to eat because the entire area was master planned. There was nothing out there to begin with. They came in, built some housing, and built a city in the middle of that and made it walkable, bikeable, or even taking a golf cart to it. You're not going to find that in Knoxville. Knoxville is very much a traditional style subdivision area. We have master plan subdivisions, but it's not the same. And when you're here, you're going to see that. If you're looking for what you find in those master plan communities, if you live in one, you know exactly what I'm talking about, or you've been looking at them. You are not going to find that here in Knoxville. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that below. Leave us a comment or two. We love to hear from you. If you haven't reached out to us yet, my number's on the screen. You can text me, call me, or go ahead, schedule a Zoom meeting with us. It's easy to do. Just click the button on the screen. And until next time, guys, I can't wait to see you right here around Knoxville really soon.